Instead of saying words like I, we, or us, focus on talking about you, okay? When telling stories or anecdotes, always relate it back to the reader. Extremely important. And it's best to add what's in it for me in the beginning of most pieces of copy. So like I said, stories are extremely important, but you have to be careful with stories. Again, stories are a very delicate and touchy subject. They're not super easy to pull off. But with stories, it really comes down to relating the story to the reader. A lot of people also make the mistake of they tell stories just to tell stories, or they tell stories and they get right into the story without telling me why I should listen to the story, why I should watch the story. So for example, if I was like, here's the story of how I went to the gym for 5 years and made no progress, and then changed 2 things. And then I went from 180 pounds to 220 pounds, gaining 40 pounds of muscle in 1 year after 5 years of basically no gains. Here's exactly what I did so that you can replicate it and do it for yourself. You always want to add something like that to tie it back to the reader. Now that you know those copywriting lessons, I want you to keep an eye out. I want you to break down this copy with me that I'm about to share with you from my private students. And I want you to look at it and I want you to break it down using the lessons that you just learned. All right, everybody, without any further ado, let's check it out. Peace. What's this? Wholesaling sales program. Ready to make 20K plus deals on repeat? Click to play. Stop letting 20K plus deals fall through your pipeline. What kind of deals? Yo, wholesalers, if you're tired of figuring this shit out on your own, pull up a seat. This one's for you. Also, like, look at how far away this is. Like, I'm sorry, but I ain't reading this first. Nobody's ever reading this because it looks like part of my tab up front. Okay, he has an exit pop-up. That's pretty good. Like, make it a part of the eyebrow copy. Ready to make 20K plus on deals on repeat? Stop letting 20K plus deals fall through your pipeline. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You just need a proven process. Okay. But maybe right now things look a little more like inconsistent sales, phone anxiety, not knowing where to go. So what is he giving you here? Guys, like when I talk about email copywriting and you just need to compile all the stuff from their personal brand, he's literally giving this to you. He's giving it to you. He's like, here you go. Here's how you write my copy. Here's what people are struggling with: inconsistent sales, phone anxiety, not knowing what to do, and also an expansion of those as well. What if instead of searching everywhere for the answers, your day looked more like this? So losing deals because of a bad process to confidently closing 20K plus, assignment fees, knowing you've got income coming in, and all these ones. All of this shit is waiting for you. Stop wasting time when you can adopt a proven process that has made me millions. Process, double your assignment fees, plus make consistent sales. Eric Klein's 7-figure wholesaler sales program. Take a quick look at what you get inside. Value stack. Because I believe in winning together, there's more bonuses. Don't just take my word for it. Testimonials. You can get it today for total value $12,000. Normally $2,500. Yours only today for $1,000. Me, the sales goat, and then a little bit about him. So this is actually pretty solid. I can tell that this was made by professional people, other than the headline. The headline was trash. I don't know what was up with that. Real talk, you're going to stay stuck unless you make a change. People fail in wholesaling not because it's difficult, but because they lack hustle. Bro, this is all stuff you can use in emails. So yeah, there's things he could definitely fix, but overall, this is pretty good. At least it has good information in it that we can swipe. Subject line, no subject, no preview. Okay, interesting. See a lot of emojis here. You don't want to use too many emojis, especially this dude. Like, this dude ain't using emojis. This dude don't even, like, no offense to him, but he's tatted. He probably has, like, kids that are, like, 20 years old. He ain't out here using emojis, my friend. Let's check it out. Do you really think I forgot to put a subject line? No, I made it no subject to capture your attention. And today, that's exactly what I'm going to help you master in your wholesaling biz. So you know what? This type of copy isn't a bad type of copy. It's just entertainment copy. There's nothing wrong with that, but don't go overboard with it. Because I've had clients before in the past, and this is something I got caught up with in the beginning when I was just starting to try to become a copywriter. When you want to write free value for prospects, or you want to start with them, you want to play it safe. Once you're on with them and you're working for them and they see your emails are working for them, only then you want to start to be more entertaining in your copy. Because there's nothing wrong with like playing a character in your emails and stuff and doing this sort of thing. But doing it too much or doing it for the wrong person, it's gonna make them feel like you're not doing their brand voice, and you're also not doing it seriously, like you're not taking it seriously. Capturing attention in your cold calls. Why? So you can stand out from the 500 trillion other wholesalers out there. Because I get it. When you were first taught to cold call, all you were told to do was read off some secret script then pray that the lead was super motivated to sell their house. Okay, sweet. So this is dope. Relatability. The relatability here is good. I can tell you no. The problem? This strategy has a success rate of less than 1% if you're lucky. Why? Because when the homeowner answers the phone and hears the same script for the 1,000th time, they're going to throw you in the boat of, oh, another scammy real estate person trying to make money. It's a good justification. Translation, they're going to say not interested and hang up the phone ASAP. It's good lesson. This copy is well executed. But how do you fix this? We'll grab their attention in a unique way. Instead of an icebreaker or being, what upgrades have you done to your house on address? Say something like, so name, why are you interested in selling your house? Is it because of your research some specific life situation about them? Name, understand that they've talked to thousands of wholesalers over the phone. So say something that makes you different. And from there, not only maintain that high energy, determination, and confidence, but also talk about topics the homeowner cares about. They don't give a care about what roof type they have. Instead of having conversation about their family memories in the house and what it's going to feel like moving, really get personal with the lead. Develop a deep connection with them on how show that you care. This way, they can trust you over the millions of other wholesalers who called their phones and ask them ridiculous questions about their house. Name, my wholesaling team was able to close over 100 deals last year just by getting personal with the leads over the phone. So if I were you, I'd ditch sleazy sales script and start trying to build personal connections instead. Sign off. P.S. If you want to see a live breakdown of one of my sales guys closing 3 leads in an hour just from getting personal with them, click here to get this free training video. It's really good too. It's good CTA. Honestly, bro, it's quite solid. It started out as entertainment copy, but then it went over to some value copy. I know with this is probably going to work like wonders on my email list. Something else to note, guys, when you do stuff like this, use this sort of thing sparingly. If you open up every single email with something that's kind of gimmicky and a joke and entertaining, it's going to get kind of old and then it's going to get kind of annoying. And then you're going to become just blind to it. So if I sent this out to my email list, it would work really, really well because 80% of my emails are very just pretty plain benefits based. Not plain, but they're a benefit with a specific intrigue or something else that makes it just a bit different. That's basically it. You don't want to refer to the subject line in the email itself because they may have forgotten it or get confused because they don't know what you're talking about. So you just say, so many business owners think SEO is dead, particularly those who have tried SEO for a long time but get no results, thus have no choice but to pour money into ads and pray for leads. So this is definitely not a 3rd grade reading level word. Also, this feels like fluff. There's a lot of stuff here. This is explaining stuff, what you want to do, and I get what you're doing. This is a PAS, and this is what a lot of people have trouble with. So when it comes to structure, you're talking about the problem in 3 to 4 lines. Then what's in it for me in another 2 to 3 lines. And then you agitate for whatever it is. Let's just say 8 lines or 7 lines. And then solution CTA is the other 7 lines. That makes sense to you guys? So the problem is really short. What sometimes people do is they problem and then they go to agitate and then they what's in it for me and then they solution. But obviously that's not what you want to do. Because if I just opened up an email saying, man, copywriting is hard. It's impossible. It feels like it's impossible to click clients. You're outreaching all day. You feel like you're doing what everyone else is doing. You're getting ignored. When people ignore you, sometimes they reject you. Then you don't feel very good. And you don't feel very good. And it hurts your confidence. And now you don't want to outreach even more. So then you stop outreaching. And then you've been kind of dabbling in copywriting for 6 months. Well, I'm going to show you how to not do that. By the time you get to the what's in it for me, I'm a little bit depressed on the inside. You get me? So you want to talk about the problem for a second, relate to it, tell them that you know the actual solution, and then you can talk more about the problem after that again. While I'm not saying that paid ads are ineffective, can it be sustained in the long run? Pumping money into ads while having zero control over your costs per lead quality and quality of leads sounds like something being held hostage by the masters of Facebook to me. I still haven't gone on what's in it for me yet. The moment they stop putting money into ads, the leads stop coming without control. Are they really in the driver's seat of their business? Here's a cold, hard truth for these people. SEO isn't dead, it's evolving. And there's some really long lines down here. Wow, this is a long email. Yeah, okay, so here's the thing, my friend, and I'm already getting these vibes, so I'm going to leave you with this. Get more concise and simple. And I get what you're saying. Here's the thing. You might be thinking or saying, but Tayson, this is a B2B offer. I thought you said B2B offers are more sophisticated. That's the word. And yes, that's true. But here's the thing. All copy needs to be simple. Even if you're writing to intelligent people, Because here's the thing. Even when people are intelligent, they might not still read good. Me myself, I don't read too good myself. I'm a lot better at reading out loud because I do it pretty much every day and force myself to do it. But think about it. I've been reading out loud for over 2 years and I still can't even string together a simple sentence. So here's the thing. When you make your message as simple as possible, you do two things. You make it accessible to people who aren't very good readers, and the people who are good readers, you make it more accessible to them. You make it more understandable to them. So it's literally a win-win. There's no downside to simplifying your message. And like you explain really big ideas in here as well. Business owners today, particularly those who have doing SEO for a long time, got no results, thus have no choice but to pour money into ads, paid ads, and pray for leads. Like this is a long sentence. Well, I'm not saying paid ads are ineffective. Can paid also you say it here, like say paid ads right here. Can paid ads be sustained in the long runs? Pumping money into ads while having zero control over your cost per lead and quality of leads sounds like you're being held hostage by the masters of Facebook to me. Long. And then look at these ones. These are like all long lines, another pretty long line, long ass line, one short, medium, long, medium, long, yeah, and so on and so forth. And then just like a big jumble of words down here. And then more. Like the length of this email is also crazy. I don't know how you even fill it up with all this stuff. So yeah, bro, keep it simple. A really easy way to keep it simple is that, bro, like Alex Hormozi can literally explain the most in-depth business tactics as simple as possible. And to the point where he just gets people who aren't even business people to just like open up and read his book real quick. Yeah, literally like put it through Hemingway or put it through a software or an app and just, or even ChatGPT and just say, make this simpler, make this shorter, make this easier to understand. I don't want you sitting on the sidelines. Right now you fall into one of these three categories. Yeah, like this is a whole nother email. Like way too much. This is like a whole different email. Cut that. Yeah, make it shorter. So emails for the woman. Hey coach, we'll help you add at least $5,000 in new sales to your business in 16 weeks guaranteed. No catch, as long as you show up to do the work, your results are guaranteed. There's one thing I know for sure. It's that you're wildly capable of building an online coaching business of your dreams. How are you wildly capable of something? You're either capable of something or you're not. Also, this center line text is so bad, I'm not going to read it. Remember, when you're writing on a sales page, especially small text, like don't center it. Extremely confusing and hard to read. Let me guess, you've thought about starting your coaching business before, but you're overwhelmed, unsure, feeling like too many people are already online coaches, doubting you have what it takes, stuck in information overload. Oh girl, I so get it. This is really freaking hard to read. Holy crap. My eyes. Dead end job equals freedom, or sadness is what you need for success. Yeah, okay, sure, these work. Although like this stuff is like, again, the exercise here is writing for women, and this is not really how women usually think. Not usually going to resonate with women. And this is why this exercise is so important, is because, dude, they speak way different than us. They think a lot different than us. This is on no misogyny stuff. There's nothing better or worse about it. It's just what they think about. Wait, is there actually prices down here? Pay in full for $3,900. A payment plan starting at $139, bro. $4,000 at $136 a month. I don't know how you make that into a payment plan. Guys, this is exactly what I'm talking about. She's gonna have a whole bunch of the wrong people in there, starting at $136. Thing that I wanted to show you guys is where she was like, oh girl, I so get it. Like, dude, I wouldn't put that on my sales page because I'm a man. I'm a guy. Real talk, and then she talks about some more stuff, right? So they speak, I'm just saying that they speak differently. They think differently. And the problem with this is like sadness is what you need for success. Dude, girls just want to have fun. Girls like fun. Girls like happy. Girls want a business to make them happy. They build businesses to spend more time with their kids, to go travel on vacations so they have more free time. They don't start a business so they can make shit tons of money and get a supercar and stuff like us. So this would work something more for like business-minded men, not so much like women. Hey, name. If you're currently stuck in a 9-to-5 cycle, that's good, because I will show you how you can use your dead-end job to make $5,000 per month. You may think that the 9-to-5 life is bad for you, that it's draining all your energy and not giving you any freedom. But it's actually the opposite. Instead of like telling here, because this is very telling, I might say in my experience, or for me, it was the opposite. This way, again, you're not telling, you're not trying to convince them, you're showing them why you're convinced. 9-to-5 is not only good for learning how to be disciplined and do the work that you need. Yeah, see, like, and guys, it should be challenging. It should be challenging to write this type of stuff. Bro, nowhere in her sales page did she even touch on something like discipline. So, not womanly. I really hope I'm not offending anybody right now. But more important, after all the exhaustion and worry, you get the guts to quit and start your own business. Now you may think that I am talking some nonsense. But let me ask you a question. Why do you think diamonds are so valuable? It's because of the pressure they're facing during the creation. Now, I'm not only saying that you should go out there and get stressed and mentally crushed, but what you should do instead is use the pressure that you have on your shoulders right now. Put it in something meaningful, something that will give you the freedom to sleep in and be your own boss. Freedom to travel, sleep in, and be your own boss. This is what they want. Yes. Now you're getting the idea. See, here's the thing. I get your lesson, and your lesson is going to work. Especially with women, you have to wrap your lesson in what I call sexy bacon, right? Just something that's attractive, something that looks good. It's like any marketing thing, especially when it comes to, let's say it's like fitness. I'm going to show you how to lose weight and live a happy life. And then they're like, they want to learn more. But you're like, okay, I'm going to show you how to do that and how to do it without having to starve yourself, and how to do it and actually have time for yourself and not break the bank. But it's going to be hard, and it's going to take discipline. That's an afterthought. That's the thing you get after. Right now, you're leading with the with the hardness. You're leading with the difficulty. You're leading with the downside, which is not necessarily what you want to do. So here's the thing, right? This sort of thing works really well on 18 to 24-year-old men, because those are some of the only people in the whole avatar space that you can say, that you can be super confrontational with. That's the Andrew Tate type of guys, like, that's super popular right now, but only for them. You wouldn't speak like that to people who are older, or even women as well. Again, free from the constant worry about the future, and the ability to spend your days exactly how you want without being tied to your schedule. Yeah, lead with all this stuff, dude. Now I get it. You might feel nervous and scared thinking about quitting your job and starting a business. It could go many ways, but that's the beauty of it. And if you don't believe that it's possible, here's what one of my friends did, testimonial. As you can see, name of a student, did this in just 1 month after quitting her 9-to-5. She was in the same position as you, stuck in a dead-end job, craving freedom to sleep in, travel, and be her own boss. You used these before. I would use different ones, because it sounds redundant when you keep saying sleep in, travel, and be your own boss. Also, don't use this. This is very chat GPT. When you ever use this double, like, long dash bullshit. Feeling burnt out and like her brain's permanently stuck in work mode, affecting her sleep and overall well-being. Yeah, good. Now, if you want to achieve the same result as name of a student, just reply to this email with the word quit and help me, so I can help you make $5K a month. All your best, your Marie. So I basically gave all my stuff there. Now, what's her name? Who made this? I really want to know what her Instagram is, so we can look for an angle. Yeah, I would talk a lot more about the dream state and transformation, because she's been really hard on that. She doesn't talk about discipline. She doesn't talk about it's going to take hard work to start. She just only talks about the good stuff. I help online coaches make bank while making a difference. Former multi-6-figure fit coach plus 11 years of experience, programs, and free resources right there. Okay, so let's see what the free resource is. Let's get this party started. Explore my programs and tune into the pod or RSVP for my free training. Yeah, this is very girl business. Well, everybody, that was good. But if I come across a one that I really like, I like the angle and stuff. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite it in my own words, and I'm also going to spend more time on each piece of copy. And I'm not going to go line by line and like I'm going to read it line by line, but I'm not going to focus too much on the specifics. I'm going to focus more on the overall feedback of the email, and then I'm going to tell you where to go to learn more. That's going to be kind of the theme of today. First thing I can tell from this one, this line I can tell is really long. I haven't read it. It just looks long. You don't do many like small one-liners. I mean, you do a couple here. The CTA looks really long. The PS lines look really long. So I think you can probably, just from an outside perspective looking in, like I haven't even read the email yet, but you can probably make it a little bit more consumable and also increase the quality of pacing, meaning like you want to add some more shorter lines in there as well. So let's just go right through it. Subject line, shoot the gun. Preview, you are now loaded with ammunition. So I don't know what the context is. So what you're going to want to do next time is link the prospect above. Also explain the angle and main idea. Also, this is really not very specific. I don't know if this is a gun guy. Okay, it's an Amazon FBA guy. So yeah, it's like an overly curious kind of clickbaity. Subject line preview could be make it have something to do with the related topic. So let's read it and see if we can come up with some more subject lines as we go on. I hope all the value I have provided thus far has not been stored in your computer collecting dust, and that you've actually been using the resources. I don't want you to miss out on the free sauce. Otherwise, that would defeat the purpose. My friend, all due respect, but this is 4 lines deep and you haven't said anything. This is a very long-winded way of saying hi. The whole point is to provide you with the foundation to begin your Amazon journey. You see, there's 2 things I've noticed that separates those that become exceptional at this and those who become average. So this is where the emails start. How would you start this better? Or you can start with like a perplexing question. So you can start like this. Hey, first name, how come some people start Amazon FBA, they struggle for 6 to 12 months and never make any money, while other people, like, I don't know, you can even do like a testimonial. The perplexing question, why do some people succeed and other people fail? Well, the main reason is because there's only really two reasons. And in this email, I'm not only going to share them with you, but also show you how to use these two strategies to get your first 5K a month with Amazon FBA. That's an example of how it would look. And like this is exactly where you would drive people away. The exceptional take action and implement. There's two things that separate the ones who become successful and the ones who are average. The exceptional take action and implement. Pretty blanket statement. I might add, try to add something more intriguing. Like imagine if I was like, here's what successful copywriters do that average ones don't. They don't take action. Yeah, you heard that right. Loser copywriters, the ones that never make any money, those are the ones that are always taking action and implementing. What do the actual successful copywriters do? I can't come up with the angle. But the reason that one would work is because it is a challenge to a commonly held belief. This is just straight up a commonly held belief. So when you tell me this, if I've already heard this a million times, which I have, oh yeah, take action and implement, take action and implement, take action and implement. How many times have you guys been told to take action and implement? And you're doing that and you're like, well, if that's the secret, then why ain't I there yet? There's easy ways to make this more intriguing. So take action and implement, but not in the way that most people do, right? That's a really easy, simple way to add some more intrigue to it. So that's just a not statement. Simply turning up and expecting to get results isn't going to cut it, no matter what you do. You have all the ammunition ready to go. Now it's time for you to shoot the gun. Yeah, the other problem here is that this is not really relatable to the subject line. To SL could be better and based on something else. If I were looking at my inbox and I see shoot the gun, you are now loaded with ammunition. I'm like, what? I'm just confused. Don't know what it is. Don't know why I'd want to open it. It's time to take the next step in your journey because learning for free is a fantastic way to get started. However, to get to the next level in anything in life, you have to invest in yourself. Every successful person I know invested in themselves, but I know this is not easy, especially if you've never done something like this before. So to take this jump as easy as possible, I'm offering you one of my introductory courses for just $9.99. It's my Amazon product research course that helps Amazon sellers find private label products. Click the link if you want to get your foot in the door and start your journey with me to 10K a month in Amazon FBA. I look forward to seeing you inside. Until next time, Dustin. I want to reward you for being one of the brave ones for taking action. You are a legend, man. Here is a quick video on my story, how I went from being a pandemic to scaling multiple six-figure businesses. What I would do is, cut this. Boom. Look at that. You see first name? There's only two things, not even I've noticed, there's only two things that separates successful Amazon sellers from ones that make zero progress. Something like that. Short, simple, to the point. Boom, I just cleaned up that email like crazy. So not only will I show you what they are, but also how you can shave 6 to 12 months off your journey to hitting 10K per month, or whatever it is, with Amazon. There's only two things that separate successful Amazon sellers from ones that make zero progress. So not only will I show you what they are, but also how you can shave 6 to 12 months off your journey to hitting 10K a month with Amazon FBA. So it's a very specific benefit, right? Shave 6 to 12 months off your journey to hitting 10K with Amazon FBA. There's also tons of different angles you could go for, but see how this one's more specific? It's not just make money with Amazon FBA. It's not just hit 10K a month with Amazon FBA. It's more of like avoiding the traps. And then you could go a couple ways here. Now, again, this is chest openings. Right here, I gave a solution, a what's in it for me, and then I touched on a little bit of a problem, time that it takes. I could go agitate for the next section, where I talk about what most Amazon FBA sellers do, how it doesn't work, what it feels like to struggle, and where they'll end up if they never fix their Amazon FBA problems. Or I could just go right into the benefits, which is what he decides to do. So we're going to keep it as the benefits. Alex Hormozi value equation: increased likelihood of achievement, decreased time delay, and also decreased effort and increased dream state. You see first name, there's only two things that separates them. Not only will I show you what they are, but I'll show you how to shave off 6 to 12 months off your journey to hitting 10K a month with Amazon FBA. So you just hit them right here with the quote unquote lesson. Here's some things I could go with. Stop learning, where I warn you against going into the eternal learning phase. I can go, the successful are the least disciplined. Now, look, I know that this might sound insane, but Tyson, I thought in order to be a 10K a month Amazon FBA seller, you had to know this, that, and the other thing. Well, here's the thing is that you don't need more information, because you want to know what? You're going to sit there and you're going to learn something over and over and over again, but you don't actually know it. You only know it once you start applying it. And successful Amazon FBA sellers stop learning and they start applying. Otherwise, they're going to get caught in the eternal learning phase. It's like this. Marketing takes a day to learn, but decades to master. Why? Because it's not the big things that are hard to learn. It's the feedback that you need from the market. That's how I would freestyle it. I'm not going to write it down because that would take too long, but you get it. And then the next thing is you have to have skin in the game. The points that I'm giving are intriguing. So the exceptional, take action and implement. Heard it before. The exceptional, stop learning. Now you're like, what? Stop learning how? That's called challenge intrigue, because you're saying something that is challenging most people's preconceived notions or preconceived beliefs. The next is just intrigue because it's curiosity based. What is skin in the game? What does that mean? It means you can making bets on yourself. And there's a couple ways that you can do this. So the first way you can make bets on yourself is by using other people to hold you accountable. Because when you tell somebody that you're going to do something, meaning let's say I'm going to make one Amazon FBA store by next week, and then you don't do it, you are essentially making a bet on yourself. When you lose that bet, now that person gets to call you a bitch. So that's number one. When you have a strong community of people and you see them winning and you see them creating their Amazon FBA stores and getting their first sales and starting to make money online, and you still haven't even started your website yet, it pushes you forward because you have skin in the game. The other best way to put skin in the game is to invest in yourself. Every successful person invests in yourself. And when you start to invest in yourself, the more and more you invest in yourself, the more you actually commit, because there is no turning back when you've actually invested a large chunk of your net worth into something. If you're looking for an effective way to invest in yourself efficiently, I'd like to present you a solution that's not going to break the bank. Today, I'm offering you my $99 course for just $10. It's an Amazon product research course that helps Amazon sellers find profitable private label products. And then this CTA is too long. If you want to get your foot in the door and start your journey with me, like that's not like CTA stuff. You might as well just cut the if you want to start your journey with me, boom, just like that. So the other part about that last point is that when you give the lesson, you have to invest in yourself, it sounds like it's a sales message. When I say you have to have skin in the game, it doesn't feel like I'm selling to you. And then when I talk about the community, it still doesn't feel like I'm selling it to you. And then when I talk about, then you have to invest in yourself. And if you're looking for a way to invest in yourself, then that's a smooth transition where you don't feel like I just told you this point. This point, it feels like you're just telling me so that you can set up the CTA. Oh yeah, we have a link, bro. That's what I like to see. Rest, recover, perform, breathing strips. Interesting. Yeah, this might not be the type of person you want to write for. Reason being is because he's just starting out. He's probably not even profitable. He's probably just some dude trying to start e-commerce. Yeah, these aren't usually the guys you want to start with, but let's check it out. And also with guys like this in e-com, they don't usually do the whole email marketing thing like we do it. Like we write email marketing, like those last couple ones were for personal brands. This one's for an e-commerce brand. So it's going to be different. E-commerce emails are literally usually just click here to get 20% off, a picture of the product, and then a little bit about how it works. And then that's it. So it's not really like a structured thing where you open it up and you give them what's in for me. It's completely different. Hey, name, I used to deal with it for years. Tossing and turning, snoring all night, waking up exhausted, breathless in the gym, stuck in performance rut. But once I strip on my nose, my life quality went from sluggish to supercharged overnight. You've probably been asking yourself, what on earth is this dude talking about? You're probably asking yourself, what on earth is this dude talking about? Just hear me out for a quick sec and it'll all make sense. So another thing we have to think of is like, where do these people come from? Okay, so let's do a little bit of funnel research. So this is really important actually. So what's the main link? The main link is a store. You go to his store. First thing he wants you to do is get the strips. You get the strips. Okay, so here's the thing. The people on his list already know the no strips are. This is another key point you guys all have to take into account. Pay attention, listen up. With e-commerce, the people who are on their email list already bought. Or sometimes they get people on their email list because they promise 10% off if they put in their email. So I'll go and give you guys an example of this one. Boom. Just like I said. So here it wants your number. Sometimes it asks your email. So it's going to say unlock $10 off. So they want your email. So that's how they get emails. And they also get emails from people who already buy from them. Okay. So those are the two ways. So needless to say, all the people who are on this thing, they know about no strips. They're somewhat interested in those strips. They've clicked on an ad or clicked on the website and they have seen it before. So It's not, the conversation isn't more like, oh, what are no strips? It's not really that. So think of it like this way, guys. The people on the list have either already bought or have already been thinking about buying. You need to think in your head, what is the thing that's stopping them from buying? And how do I address it? So things like when I'm thinking why people want to buy or why people aren't buying, I'm thinking risk, maybe they won't like it, price, and then like effectiveness. Those are the only really things that I can think of off the top of my head. So like, do these really work? How much are they and are they expensive? And what if I don't like it? Like, am I going to be stuck with 30 no strips that I don't want to use? So how can we address these? So with risk, it can be easy, like small pack. Like now you can get them in 5-pack increments. 5-pack increments. So you can see if you like them or not. Or guarantee. If you don't like them, send them back and we'll refund your money. Price. This one's easy, like 20% off now. That's what a lot of e-com people do. Effectiveness. How no strip, or whatever kind of effectiveness they have. But the whole story about like, you're probably asking yourself, what is this dude talking about? What is a no strip? Like the people already know what a no strip is. You can actually kind of go with this opening and go with this angle, but you have to assume that they already know what no strips are. So it wouldn't be, you're probably thinking to yourself, what on earth is this dude talking about? They're most likely thinking to themselves, but do these no strips actually work? Like, how do they actually work? And why are these ones better than any other ones? What do these ones do differently that the other ones don't do? That's more of what the conversation would be. So hear me out for a quick sec and then it'll all make sense. Having nasal breathing issues means poor oxygen intake during sleep, leading to restless nights and constant fatigue, which also compromises your performance in the gym. Worst of all is the 24/7 mouth breathing, leaving your mouth completely dry and even elongated face shape looking like this, an egg. But seriously, using transparent micro vibration nasal strips will enhance your nasal passages with airflow, providing you clear, effortless breathing day and night, resulting in waking up refreshed, ready to smash your workouts without gasping for air. So if you want to crush your workouts, sleep like a panda after Bamboo Fest, then click here. Okay, so we actually have some really good stuff here. It's mostly the angle of they already know what it's about. Just tell them how it helped you. Because you started off being, I used to feel like this. But then you tell them what they're going to feel after they start using it. Like keep it with you then, bro. If you've already started like that. So I noticed, and then tell them what you noticed. I noticed that I was able to get better sleep. I noticed that before using them, I didn't even think that I had bad sleep because I would quote unquote sleep for 8 hours a night. But I would sleep tossing and turning. I would wake up like 4 hours before I was supposed to in the middle of the night. And then all that deep sleep was gone. It wasn't until I actually started using the strips that I started realizing, holy crap, I've been having shit sleep this whole time. And with that new refreshed amount of sleep, I found myself having more energy, not feeling tired throughout the day, and being able to crush the gym and, smash pretty much all of my PRs and break through my plateaus that I've been struggling with for months now. And I'm not even the only person. I recommended it to all my friends. Now they're all using it and they're feeling the same stuff. So if you want to give this a try, you can actually give it a try risk-free because now they're running a 30-day guarantee where you could use them, try them, and if you don't literally love them, then you can just send them right back and they'll refund you your money. Check them out here. That's more of the marketing message you want to go with. So the copy itself in here, execution is fine. It's just more of an idea thing. And this is not something I would expect even somebody in week 6, right? This is stuff that you have to have marketing knowledge to really get your head around it before you start, if that makes sense. That was awesome. We went through a lot right there. We talked about a whole whack of different things and different strategies when it comes to actually creating effective copywriting. All right, everybody, that's it for today. Of course, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. All right, everybody, now I want to focus on email copywriting. We've basically been focused on mostly email so far, but I wanted to hyper focus on email copywriting structures because email copywriting is essentially the basis of pretty much everything that has to do with copywriting. VSLs, sales pages, every other form of copy can basically be narrowed down to emails. Video sales letter is basically just a bunch of emails. Sales page is basically just a bunch of emails. Okay, so we're gonna go through some email structures and talk about how to craft high converting copywriting emails. And emails is also one of the best copywriting offers that you can create because it's something that's ongoing. And if it's something that's ongoing, you're gonna then be able to earn recurring revenue rather than just a sales page where it's just gonna be $1,000 for a project up front and then never again. With email copywriting, you're able to get paid again and again and again and again, and you're able to essentially create a passive income machine for your clients. So we're going to go into exactly how. So understanding email copywriting structures. Copywriting structures are highly important to learn and understand, not only for technique, but also efficiency. Not knowing where to put things is like trying to apply makeup in the dark. You'll end up taking longer, doing it wrong, and having lipstick on your forehead. Great copy isn't written, it's assembled. And I cannot stress this enough. Guys, I have so many videos on this very channel where I create like 2 emails in the span of an hour. And again, like I can sell an email for over $200, but I create 2 emails over the span of an hour while explaining how I'm doing it. So I would have been able to make like 3 emails in an hour. That's like 20 minutes per email, $200 each. It really does come down to structure. It's just plug and play. So we're going to go through structure by structure. And then I'm going to, again, show you some videos of me critiquing copy and me going over some copy, me creating copy. And then you can pick out and point out what I'm doing based on the lessons that we're about to learn. Okay, so make sure you understand these and have these in your head. And every time you read an email, every single time, ask yourself, which one of these structures is this email based off of? So first and foremost, challenge, justify, and need. CJN, something that I personally came up with. This structure works by creating intrigue and curiosity to capture attention, keeps readers engaged while shifting their beliefs, and then tying the new belief to your call to action. So for example, the challenge. So the challenge is essentially you saying something that's so counterintuitive to most people's belief that people really want to understand why you said it. Then you justify your newly found belief. And then with that belief shift, you give them the need. You give them the CTA at the end. For example, squats are terrible for your legs. That's the challenge. Now, most people think that squats are great for you. Like squats are how you build tree trunk legs, I thought. Well, let's get into it. Here's a justify. Squats are painful and difficult to perform because of things like balance and early onset fatigue. Many people struggle with maintaining proper form, which can lead to injuries and ineffective workouts. That's why a muscle building workout plan that focuses on isolation exercises is more effective. Now, is this true or not? Essentially with copywriting, here's the thing, is that there's so many different ways to bake a cake. I could write an email about how it's only about squats and isolation exercises are the worst. And I could also create an email that's completely vice versa. It's all about how you justify it. You should be able to justify essentially everything. So here I'm talking about squats aren't the best. What you want is more isolation exercises. So the need. If you want to maximize your legs without the hassle and risk of squats, check out my video on this very topic. Click the link to learn how to start building stronger legs today. And that's the CTA. Very, very simple. Proving its effectiveness. So for an example, challenge, 8 cups of water a day is unhealthy. This one's really relatable because everybody thinks you should drink 8 cups of water per day. But in reality, it's actually unhealthy, and I'm going to tell you why. This could be for like a health and fitness person. Another example you could use is why 8 hours of sleep per night is unhealthy. Things that most people hold as true, telling people that they're false, showing them why, and then giving them a need afterwards. That is how very, very effective copy is created. And you're going to see almost every single piece of email copywriting, or many of them at least, are created with this very structure, even if they don't have like CJN, challenge, justify, need in their mind. Because CJN is something that I came up with. Obviously, I've been talking about it for a while, so all the copywriters in the 4D community are going to be using it. But even copywriters who have never watched my videos, they don't know what CJN necessarily is. This is a structure that has been used for years and years and years. I've just given it the name. So you're going to notice it very, very often. So justify. While staying hydrated is important, the 8 glasses a day rule isn't based on solid science. Hydration needs vary greatly depending on individual factors like body size, activity level, and climate. It's more effective to listen to your body's signals and drink when you're thirsty. Studies are shown that most people get enough hydration from their daily food and beverage intake without strictly following the 8-glass rule. And here's the need. If you want to understand more about how to properly stay hydrated and what science really says about your water intake, read our comprehensive guide. Click here to get the facts and stay healthy. Okay, so next is problem, promise, agitate, solution. Previously known as just PAS, I've created it as PPAS just to kind of give people a better understanding of where to put the what's in for me. Okay, so we're going to go through and talk about it right now. So you identify with a specific problem the reader has, tell them that you know how to fix the problem, show them that you understand the problem and highlight why they need to fix it now instead of later. And then you give them the solution to said problem as the CTA. So this is essentially what it looks like. Okay, so at the end, when you're giving them solution, of course, you're telling them what to do, but not how to do it, because of course, the how to do it is through the call to action. This is the problem solution loop that we've been talking about. So got an example. Problem, low motivation, try this. Here's a way to stay motivated in the gym and make you fired up to go every single day. So this problem is the low motivation. The promise is I'm going to show you how to stay motivated. The agitate, because lack of motivation often leads to missed workouts and stalled progress. Every skipped workout sets you back further from your fitness goals, making it harder to get back on track. The longer you wait, the tougher it becomes to regain your momentum. So I'm relating with the problem, and I'm also also showing them where they're going to be long-term if they don't fix the problem now. That's the agitate. That's usually what agitates consist of. Next is the solution. Download this fitness motivation app and get personal workout plans, daily reminders, and motivational tips to keep you going strong. Click here to start your free trial and transform your fitness journey. Okay, so another very, very simple example. So PAS, here's what PAS would look like. I do have that problem. I identify with that problem. Wow, this problem needs to be fixed right now. That's like the agitate. And then there's a solution. And then you follow said solution. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Tyson 4D, and you already know what we came here to do. As you can see, we just talked about problem, agitate, solution, and we're going to learn the last and final structure, which is hook, story, offer. I'm keeping it simple. I'm keeping it short. I'm keeping it compact. Hook, story, offer. What does it mean, HSO? Hook the reader in with an attention-grabbing line or promise. Step number one. Tell a story that shifts the reader's beliefs in your favor. This utilizes the rule that we talked about. Show why you're convinced instead of trying to convince them. And this one is huge. Okay, I'll show you a whole bunch of examples as we go on. Next is to offer the reader something based on that new belief shift. So sounds simple enough. So how do we put it into practice? And I created this whole long story here for the example just because I came up with one off the top of my head, and I thought that this one kind of best showcases what that looks like. So the hook, what date will you be debt free? Kind of just gets people thinking. The story, I, like many people, was once overwhelmed by my financial situation. And this is the one thing that helped me achieve my dream of finally being able to be debt free. Now, this is huge because when you say, here's how you're going to become financially free, that brings up a lot of objections. Well, how do you know me? You don't know my situation. But if I say, here's how I became financially free, nobody's going to be able to argue with that. And it's going to be a lot more convincing because, again, you're showing why you're convinced. So let's continue here. The funny thing about financial problems is they tend to sneak up on you. A missed payment here, a late payment there, borrowing money every once in a while until something bad happens and it seems like your bills all pile up at once. So this is essentially where I'm showing them that I understand their situation. So when you're telling stories, there's a few crucial steps that you have to have. One, of course, showing why you're convinced. Second is to show them that you understand their problems. Remember, the main tagline of copywriting is when you can get inside the reader's head and describe their situation even better than they can, they will naturally look to you for the solution. So this is what we're doing here when we're showing them and we're telling them that we were just like them. I went through the exact same problems. And the key here is to be hyper specific. So being not very specific, for example, would be like, I had a lot of bills and I wasn't making very much money and my bills were taking out my money and I wasn't able to really save a lot. That's kind of like not very specific, very general. But if I say something like, oh, it felt like it was super slow. A missed payment here, a late payment there, borrowing money every once in a while, didn't really seem like a big deal until one bad thing happened and it seemed like all my bills started to pile up at once. And I thought this was going to be the end until I decided to finally talk to a professional. It wasn't some secret wealth strategy they taught me that eventually pulled me out of near bankruptcy, but it was the simple fact that they helped me create a plan, held me accountable, and showed me where I was wasting my money. That's when I realized if you don't know what day you'll be debt free, you might never be. And that's no way to live. So as you can see, I ended it off with the big lesson. Now, a lot of people sometimes get this wrong where they put the lesson somewhere in the middle or they put the lesson before they go into the story. The lesson is always best for the end because it helps you recap the story. Whenever someone finishes hearing your story, the big thing they're going to wonder is, okay, so what? Like, why did you tell me that? A lot of the times, remember, people are going to be skimming. So at the very end, it's important to make sure that your final lesson is understandable. And then you hook that into the offer. So if you're someone who was like me, always putting off their finances, no plan to pay off debt and handle financial stress with avoidance, then the best thing you can do is commit to figuring out your finances. And that's what we specialize in. So that's the offer that, of course, hooks into the story. Hopefully that should all make sense to you. It's really pretty simple, but that's how that works. So let's look at some effective examples of each copywriting structure. This is an email for this guy. His name is Michael Kim, CPA personal finance coach, helping working young professionals use money to build a life you actually love. TEDx speaker, digital nomad, Ivy Biz. Apply for a free assessment. But this is not, I would say, save your time and find somebody else possibly. So the thing with outreach, guys, is that you got to think of it like your time. A lot of people waste time going too wide. A lot of people suck at prospecting and they discount prospecting because they're like, the more people I outreach to, the more chances I have. So here's the thing. Everybody knows this. You can either spend a little bit of time on a lot of people or a lot of time on a small amount of people. And the latter is always going to give you the best results because you're going to get the best client. The goal isn't how can I find somebody that hasn't been outreached to yet so I can make them my client? The goal is, how do I outreach to these people who get outreached to every day? I come off as different. I come off as someone who is hardworking, and I give them so much value that they genuinely want to work with me. I had a guy take videos of my car, and he wanted to just do it for free, and I just sent him money. Why? Because of something called the feeling of reciprocity. Whenever you give somebody something that they genuinely like and is cool and you spend time on, they're going to be appreciative. And so money to a business owner is like, yeah, man, I'll toss you $500. I'll toss you $1,000. It's like nothing. So, and that might be a lot for you. And it's especially a lot for you if it's going to be like your first bit of money that you make online, because that has sentimental value. With all that being said, now I'm going to go through your copy. So you have some stuff here. Okay. Subject line, your dream life is 12 weeks away. I see this angle a lot on TikTok and Reels. I'm not sure that it matches. And also, like, I didn't see him talking much about a dream life. I think he would talk more about like dream finances. We'll just say that. Not verbatim, word for word, but to paraphrase, like he talks more about dream finances and get your finances right. And in turn, you will get your dream life. So when you're writing for people, it's important to, and this is something about voice that a lot of people aren't going to get first time around, but you have to understand as you go on, is that the business opportunity voice is way different from something that he's doing. So he's a CPA. He's not going to make a TikTok where he's going to be like, hey guys, your dream life is only 12 weeks away. Like you're going to be able to drive a supercar and retire your family and blah, blah, blah. Like he's more talking about like, you're going to make your finances and your funds go farther. You're going to learn how to budget. You're going to know where your money is going. Even if you make the same amount of money, you're going to be able to spend it in such a better way that you're able to go on more vacations, work less, but earn the same amount of money. Get that, whatever it is, your dream car or whatever. This is costing you thousands every year. I think that's a good one, actually. I think that's more on brand. It's time to build your dream life. Does he talk about dream life? Because I haven't seen this. About Me, money podcast, from a lack of education. How good are you with money? Financial freedom. Most people are losing thousands of dollars every year. And by not taking control of this one aspect of their life, they're building a wall between themselves and their hopes and dreams. Okay, good. Down here, like just reading the first two lines is a bit wordy for sure. Bit wordy. And you can also be choosy. Like I know hopes and dreams is kind of like sounds like one thing when you talk about it. Most people are losing thousands of dollars every year. And by not taking control of this one aspect of their life, they're building a wall between themselves and their hopes and dreams. You see how that's really long? So you could literally just say most people are losing thousands of dollars every year and they don't even know it and they don't even realize it. However, because all this stuff is like cool, but is it lead worthy? Like that's the thing that really has to go through your guys' head. And I'm brutal with it. On like 80% of emails you'll ever see me critique, the first thing I'm usually always going to say is you can cut stuff in the beginning. It should be a meme. Put my face there, and the caption is, "Oh, I'm critiquing your copy. Make sure you cut this in the beginning. Make sure you cut this." Most people are losing thousands of dollars every year, and they don't even notice. However, no matter your financial situation, in 12 weeks, there should be a comma here. You could be on the path to living your dream life. Your dream might be to travel the world, have an early retirement, or simply not have to worry about money ever again. Those are pretty good. Seem like pretty good dream states. But I get it, first name. Investing and money management is only effective when you start early, and it's way too late to start now. Well, this is a common misconception. I would preface this by saying most people feel like, because again, if I were reading this, I'm skimming it, right? So I'm reading it and I'm saying, but I get it. Investing in money management is only effective when you start early. I'd be like, well, shit, I didn't start early. I'm 40 years old now, so I'm going to move on. So I would just preface it by saying, but I get it. Most people feel like investing money management is only effective if you start early, and now it's way too late for them. Well, this is a common misconception. You could also talk about other things. So this isn't a suggestion even, but it's just an idea. You could talk about how most people see budgeting as cutting out things they love, when really it's the opposite. It's about cutting things you don't need to afford more of the things you love and the things that actually matter. I haven't really seen much of that idea before. It reminds me of scheduling. I say this with scheduling a lot. People think that scheduling means that you are in like a prison. You're in like a time prison. When really, scheduling maximizes your time so that you can do more things. When you have an intentional plan with your day. Yeah, it's a little bit, the beginning is a little bit of a run-on sentence. It's a lot. It's basically one sentence, but broken down into 3 lines in the very first line, that makes it hard to kind of follow. Like your first sentence should be like a statement, short, nice, sweet, quick. But I get it. Investing in money management is only effective when you start early, and it's way too late now. Well, this is a common misconception. By taking control of your finances and putting your money in the right places, you can build a stress-free future where you can live the life you've dreamt of. Pretty good? Let's face it. So when you look at this from a bird's eye view, pacing, you have long line here, short line, and then you go longer line, medium, then a short line. You're missing a short. So you could literally just go like this. That's how I would make it look. Because this is your scroll stopper right here. This tells people where to stop. You have to understand how people skim. When people skim, what do they stop on? They stop on something that's easy as hell to read. So if I'm reading this, I'm like, blah, 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 let's face it. Like this looks like your point. So I'm going to be like, where's the point? This looks like your point. We all know that guy who always complains about the job he's been at for 15 years, has made zero effort to pursue his dreams, and thinks education is only for millionaires. That's like a big line. That's like the big idea of the email. But I know you're not that person's first name. Managing your finances can be very daunting. We almost never want to use this word. Anything very or really, like, imagine if I was like, and he was running very fast. That means the exact same if I just said he was running fast, but it takes up more space. But in copywriting, there's no alwayses or nevers, but you pretty much never want to use that. And you may be thinking, there is no way I'm smart enough to manage my finances, or